that are there. So I'm going to try and do this pretty quickly. It's going to take you're going to have to play a little bit. So just so that you know that, I'm just going to take and move this out of my way. This is just so that I have my template so I can actually look at it pretty regularly to see what my whole picture is going to be. So the first thing I have to do is I'm using the 120 by 120 hoop. You can make it a little bit smaller because that will actually fit, I think, in 100 by 100. But I'm going to go to the View tab. I'm going to change my grid lines to 3 millimeters. That gives me the ability so that I create my crosses so that they are actually fitting inside the little grids, okay? We're going to go to the Frame tab. The older software, you're going to use the Border tab in order to find the motif underline. You're going to choose Motif Underline, select Motif, and what we're going to use is Husqvarna Viking, the heirloom stitches, the very first cross stitch. We're going to change the height and the width to 2.5. That fits nicely in that 3 millimeters of grid squares. So we're going to do OK. I have nothing selected, so I'm going to hit I want one repeat. So don't forget to go to repeats, one, and I'm going to do apply. And it puts it down here in the center, and it's really small, and I need to zoom in. I'm actually going to zoom into this upper left-hand quadrant, and then I can take my mouse, and as I move my mouse, you see how it has 4 arrows? I'm going to take and move it up. It's just so that I have that X if I want it for doing other things. So I've got my X, I've got the size I want, and I'm just going to keep repeating this. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do a Control D, which is going to give me another version of that. And again, I'm going to move that so that it's kind of inside one of those little grid squares. I know that it's pretty good. I'm going to change the color to a red. Then I want to go and I'm going to actually create this row of stitches that kind of looks like this. I'm going to zoom out so you see that. So I'm going to create this here, all right? So we're going to zoom in back to that corner. So I need to create this second stitches. The way this is going to stitch is it's going to start here and it's going to end here. It's a motif, so it has to start and end on the same line. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, with this one selected, I'm going to do a Control D. And then with my 4 arrows, I'm going to make sure that he's really, really close up there. And if I need to look, see how he's really almost touching? The thing is that, again, starts here, ends here. This is going to do a jump, starts here, and ends here. So to kind of get rid of some of those, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. And I'm actually going to flip it on its top. Now it's going to start here, start here, and end here. So then when it does this one, it will do the same thing. So I'm going to zoom out again. I want those 2 red X's selected. So I have the last one selected. I'm going to hold my Control key and select the other one. Right mouse. I'm going to do Combine Selected so they become one. I'm going to go to the Home tab and Color Sort so they are all one thing. So I'm going to go to next I'll go to the Encore tab. I've got line selected. I'm doing a straight line. I'm going to do 15 repeats and preview. And you may want to zoom in a little bit if you want to see this a little bit closer, and to zoom in with when you're in that part of Encore, you have to use that little slider bar instead of using the magnifying glass, which is what I usually like to do. And so what you're going to do is I kind of have to sometimes mess with this a little bit. Get it so it's fairly close so that those X's are in there. I actually had to go in a little bit and come back out because I'm just going just such a small little tiny amount. And I'm going to hit apply, zoom to fit, and move that kind of into place. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're going to line these up here in a minute. So now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to actually do these little evergreen trees. So again, got this one selected. I'm going to do a Control D so I have it the same one. And I remember it's going to start down here and end over here. So I'm going to just kind of move that it's in here. And actually, let's move it down towards the center because as I duplicate and do Encore and that kind of thing, you're going to find that it's much easier to have it down further. We're going to do this. We're going to change that to a green, do OK. And actually, I'm going to move it up just a little bit. So I have this one. So now what I want to do is I actually want to duplicate this again. Now remember, this one starts here and ends here. So I've got this selected. I'm going to do a Control D. And this time, I'm actually going to put this here. Okay, so this time I want 3 repeats. So I'm going to have this one, and this one, but I need to tell it to do that. So I've got the straight line chosen, straight line, 3 repeats, and I'm going to do preview. And it always pops it down there into that center spot, and I can just kind of move it around a little bit, and I can actually move it up. I want to get it so that it's in those squares. I'm going to hit apply, and now I can move it up to where that other one is at. Or actually, I can take this, and I can move this. I'm going to leave this down here, because I'm going to do one more here. I'm going to take this guy, and I'm going to move him down here. Again, you're just going to have to pay attention to the way this is going to stitch. So what I'm going to do is actually go to the design player, and I only care about the last couple of things we did. So it's going to stitch here and end up here, and then it's going to jump over this way and do that. So what you can do if you want to, in order to cut some of the jump down, is I'm going to do a cancel, is I'm going to take this one, and I have to combine it. I have to do a combine selected, and then I can flip it. So what it will do is it'll start stitching here and start here. Now your crosses are going to cross differently. For this, you know, you can start getting picky and fixing all those things. But for this, I just wanted to show you how to do it. Again, it's going to do this. It's going to go here, here, and then it's going to start stitching and come across this way. Now I want to do this one down here. I'm going to do a Control D. This time I want it to have 5 repeats. Preview. And I might stretch it out just a little bit. Again, you kind of have to help it a little bit. These are not going to be perfect. Remember that you're doing this in a non-cross-stitcher mode, so you just have to know that. So this is going to do this. It's going to go here, here, and then start stitching here. So if we want to actually watch it stitch, I'm going to just watch this last little part. It's going to stitch, come down here, stitch, and then stitch and end up over on the right-hand side. Okay? So now what I want to do is I want to combine all these and make them one. So I've got this last one selected. I'm going to hold my Control key and grab those. Right mouse. I'm going to do combine selected. I'm going to go home and color sort just so that it's not different colors. And now what I'm going to do is zoom to fit. I'm going to do 5 repeats of this. So I'm going to go to the Encore tab. I'm going to do a straight line. I want 5 repeats. I'm going to do preview. And I can stretch it out, now paying attention so that you end up with like one grid square. You kind of have to play with it a little bit. Again, it's not going to be perfect. Just make sure you understand that it's not going to be perfect. You're not using cross-stitcher to create this. So once I've got it pretty good, I'm going to do apply. And I'm going to actually take that and put that someplace down here. We're going to line these up all up here in a minute. I want to actually do these little candle wicking stitches. So I'm going to go again to the frame tab, motif underline, select motif. I'm going to come up here into universal. I'm going to pick on, universal. I'm going to pick on candle wicking 2. I want the 4th one down. It's a 2.5 size. I'm going to do OK. And I'm going to do, I don't want anything selected because I don't want to try and group together. So I'm going to make sure nothing's selected and hit apply. Puts it down there in the center, which is fine. I'm not worried about that. I'm going to actually go into Encore. I want 5 of them preview. And then I'm going to actually, and I forgot to do the color change, but that's okay. We can do that here in a minute. I just want them so that they're just right above those X's. You can mess with it a little bit and move it out of your way. Pretty daggone good. I'm going to do apply. I'm going to do home, colors, combine selected, color sort, and I'm going to make that a gold. That's better. Okay. So now what I want to do is I want to put this one down below. So I'm just going to do a Control D. I want to flip this so that I would need to do a combine selected, color sort, and I actually want to get in here. I need to get in here close. So I want to flip it this way. because that way they kind of mirror image those up there, okay? Now, to get these so that these are all lined up, oh, we forgot to do the whatever you want to put is for letters. So the letter, what I used is micro 8 to 50. I just left it at the size 8, did happy holidays. Make sure nothing is selected, hit apply, put it in the center here, and I can move things around a little bit. I don't like how close everything is, so I'm going to do a right mouse. I'm going to do edit lettering. I'm going to put this at 10. And my line spacing, I want to make it a little bit more. I'm going to maybe make it a 2. Do okay. Oh, that's a little bit too much. Let's go in and do edit lettering again. And I'm going to drop it down to 1.5. That's a little bit better. All right. So I'm going to zoom to fit. The ones I want selected is this one, these, all of these. So I'm going to make sure my top one here is selected. And I'm just going to slide down here and hold my shift key and make sure happy holiday. So everything in the middle, all of these are all selected. I'm going to do a right mouse button. I'm sorry. I'm trying to line these up. I don't want to do that yet. I'm going to go to this one, shift. I'm going to go to the home tab, alignment, align center. I might actually do alignment and actually evenly space them. And then if I don't like it quite too much, maybe I want to move that down just a little bit. It's because of those Y's and the P that makes it off. So now so this is all I actually need. So I can actually go from this point all the way back up, hold my shift key, get rid of all those, and that's the one I want to keep. I can center in the hoop, and there you go. Pretty quick and simple. It is not perfect. It is not exact. You can play with it until you get everything lined up perfectly fine and you're happy with it. But this was just a quick down and dirty, how do I create cross-stitch designs in the main module of the software without having cross-stitcher. Hope you try some things and share. Thanks.